your career that started from now until, I guess, the end of next year. What was the best day that you had with Dog, or when you ever worked solo? And what was your down day when you went home saying, man, this was a bad day? And what was your most euphoric day?
The worst day I ever worked doing this was the first day I ever did it. The first day I ever did it was the first time I ever did Afternoon Drive by myself was the day I filled in for Pete on Thanksgiving that first year. And I've told this story that I had never done a show by myself until that moment. And if you were going to pick this, if you had any smarts, you would never pick Thanksgiving as your first day because, number one, you're up against football games, both on the radio if they're not on your station and on TV. It's also Thanksgiving, so nobody calls. Nobody's listening. Nobody calls. And you're not going to get any guests because who's going to come talk to you on Thanksgiving? Well, you add all that up, and it's your first show. You come away completely disillusioned, which I did. I mean, I was like, boy, you know what? Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I'm not going to be any good at this. I thought I was terrible. I went home and said I was terrible, and I said, if I don't do better tomorrow, I'm not going back. And the next day was like a whole different world because it was a regular day. And so it was a whole different show, and I thought it went great, and then I was very happy. But the first day I was unbelievably bad and disillusioned. So I thought it was a terrible show, and I felt bad. As far as the other show, I'm sure there's many times I went home upset about shows. I mean, I can't even count all of them. I'm sure there were tons. So, you know, like any other job, there's going to be bad days. I'm sure there were many of them. You know, I don't have one to cite at the top of my list, but I'm sure there were many. As far as, you know, best days, I don't look at it that way. It's hard to just say, you know, if you ask the player who played 20 years, what was the best day of your career? If he had a, you know, 3-run game-winning homer in the World Series, I would obviously be his day. Or he pitched a perfect game, or a no-hitter in the playoffs. I mean, that's going to be his best day. I don't really look at it that way. I mean, to me, I've been very fortunate. I've had a job that I wanted, that I pushed for and drove for and strived for.